What's up guys, bob.bob.the.gamer here, coming at you with some more top deck lists. Today we're revisiting the 2024 Edison World Championship deck list. Check it out. Alright, so first place, our world champion, Edison World Championship champion, Sushan Televisual. Alright, so Televisual was playing Vayu Turbo. Honestly, it looks like a pretty standard list nowadays. Granted, this is from a couple months ago. I'm working on the SJC Orlando top 8 deck list, and I was like, well, this is like the top deck list I never ended up doing, so I figured I would just do it. Anyway, so we're on one charge, one hamster. No second hamster in the sideboard. He's on Chaos Orc, he's on Double Deck Devi, and the rest looks pretty standard. The Lightning Vortex I like. Vanity's Fiend is kind of cool, seeing it in Vayu. That's not super common. He's on the One Crow. I wonder if that'll change with the Gigavise and the Forg deck list that is now running around. But yeah, congrats to Televisual. Up next, we got second place. We got Scrub for Life. Scrub for Life was on a Virus Vayu. Note the Elfin in the deck as well as Triple Greffer. He's also on two deck Devis, in addition to the Eradicator, as well as siding the other Eradicator. And he's on triple D Prison as opposed to 2. He's got the Fuselers in the side deck, and he's on 2 Silverwind in the extra deck. Obviously, since he's got the Fuselers and whatnot, he's on Skill Drains for the sideboard. And he's not on any Hamster, nor is he on Charge, which is interesting because he has a Lila in the air. Not the most fun version of IU for me, but it's effective. Alright, up next we got San Pacino. He was on Blackwing, so he's on 2 Vayu. He's on no Gores. He's on 1 deck Devi in the main, 1 Oppression in the main, so kind of dividing those up as opposed to choosing one or the other. Other than that, he's got Solemn in the main. Looks pretty standard for a Blackwing list. I do like the Fissure in the extra deck. Excuse me, in the side deck. Fissure in the extra deck. I do like Fissure in the side deck for Consecrated. I wonder if that's going to get changed around, because obviously you do want that to get Consecrated. But again, that Gigavise deck being around, you're going to see more Titanials, and she's a really big problem. And those cards, Fissure, Smashing Ground, those do not target. So I wonder if that's going to end up getting swapped. Interesting choice to have Gores in the sideboard as well. Moving on to 4th place, Duck Tracy. Duck Tracy was on the Hybrid Blackwing list. So this is a very fun deck. I don't know if you guys have tested this out or not. But it's on 1 Arma, 2 Greffer. And you know, he's on Plague, Necro, and then your standard 3 Sirocco, 3 Vayu. It is only on 1 Blizzard, 1 Kalut, 1 Bora. I'm not sure if those are 100% correct. But I can tell you that this deck is very fun. He's on 1 deck Devi in the main. He's on 2 Icarus attacks, along with Solemn in the main as well. Sideboard's pretty interesting. He's got the ability to side into Devil Oppression still. He's got the other deck Devi in there. And he's on 1 Soul Release, 1 Vortex. Definitely an interesting variant to be playing. I find it very fun. More fun than normal Blackwings, to be honest. I don't know that it's better, but it's more fun. So that's something. Alright, moving on. So we got Alistair. Here's your like Forg list, right? This is one of the new scary decks that people are talking about. So triple Moray, triple Avarice, and triple Salvage. So you might notice that this deck is pretty much all frogs, right? And it is. It's resistant to deck Devi in the sense that it's got the Avarice, it's got the Moray, and it's got the Salvage. So you can kind of pick the things back up that deck Devi hits, right? And then just continue to go off. The main thing for this deck is kind of like Colossal Armory Arm. It's not the only way it wins, but it is a major win condition for this deck. The sideboard's pretty cool because he's got the ability to just go right into more of a almost Dream Frog variant of the list with the Caius. And he's got triple D Prison and 2 Breakers for Mask of Restrict, as well as any other annoying cards like that he might find. But it's a cool list. It's definitely a harder deck to play. For any of you thinking about trying it, I encourage you to give it a try, but I wouldn't bring it to a tournament without some practice first, because it's pretty complicated. You've got to be able to have cards in hand in order to just continue to use Substitute to abuse the Fishborg, or obviously use Fishborg to make synchros. Hence why they play the Triple Death Frog. They need the higher numbers so that they can get to higher level synchros. But super cool list. I appreciate it. Very skillful list. I like the side into Triple D Prison. I think that's kind of interesting to be able to just go into more of like a trap heavy version. But cool list. Marcelo was on Blackwings. So he's got a couple cool techs that I like. He's on 2 Vayu. He's on Dark Illusion, which is a card that I very much appreciate. I think it's very fun. He's on 1 Starlight Road in the main. I guess he was expecting a lot of birds. And then sideboard, he's on another, or frogs, I suppose. Not for the Starlight, but he's on a second Dark Illusion in the sideboard, which is really good against Monarchs, obviously. Double Deck Devi in the side. He's choosing to play 2 Oppression in the main as opposed to Deck Devi, which is an interesting choice right now. But pretty cool list. He's on the 1 Armor Master, 1 Mistworm. Must be coming up for him. Next in top 8, we got ShamWow. So ShamWow was on a Gravekeeper Diva Hero list here. So you'll notice that it's on, you know, your standard 4 Gravekeepers. It's still on the Devil Prodigy. It's only on 2 Caius with 2 Prodigy. Seems kind of odd. But, excuse me, Prodigy is a good allure target, as well as he's got applications for doing Armory Arm, Colossal OTK. He's on 2 Wing Blast, and he is still on maining Solemn. 1 Fossil, 1 Vanities in the sideboard, Triple Dust. The oddest card, I would say, is that he's got an Oppression in the sideboard. Now, obviously, Oppression always sounds good. It's like, oh, well, you just establish a board, and then, you know, you set Oppression. And yeah, that can work, but I think into decks like, you know, like Diva Hero, Oppression siding it can definitely be very risky, but he made top 4, and he was in Worlds, so Invitational only tournament. He's got to be one of the best players, so congrats. Alright, and then we got the last one. So this is a more teched out-ish, and by ish I mean like a card. Oh, a couple cards for the Vayu Turbo. So this is TGU 96. So double armor, double Greffer standard. He's on Chaos Sorcerer, which is becoming standard. He's on 1 Charge, 1 Hamster, 1 Lila. I think if you're going to play Charge, I personally, and I know this goes against Eric Shen and a couple other guys, including Televisual's build, but I don't really like Charge if all I'm grabbing is Raikou. Like, obviously when it hits, it hits. But you can draw multiple Raikous, and that super sucks. Obviously it's not going to happen all the time, but I kind of like having the Lila as an additional target that you can choose to go to based on the situation, right? It's kind of like Rhoda, but Rhoda only has like 1 target. Like, I don't know. I like the variety. I think that it gives you the ability to just kind of toolbox out whatever you need. An interesting choice to be on double draw traps. I guess they just didn't want people to think that their traps were real, even though they're still on Triple D Prison, you know, Mirror Force Torrential, the standard stuff. And they are playing Cold Wave, which is pretty interesting. A true hero I know is a big fan of Cold Wave in Vayu Turbo. And in a lot of decks, actually. But he's on Triple Dino, which I think is pretty cool. Plus 2 Kaikus, 2 Crows. Looks like a very, very a modern-esque sideboard. Extra deck looks standard. But yeah, that's going to be your list, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Check out one of these other videos around here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.